We're going to be in the same position we were in 2006, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to mute you, Dale. Hey, welcome to the party, Dale. I'm going to mute you because you kicked up a bunch of racket there. All right, so are we in the same position we were in 2005, 6, 7, 8 to create the same type of problem? Absolutely 900% no. We are not in the same position. This is economic shift due to Russia and Saudi Arabia brawling over oil. They're both saying, hey, you got to reduce, you got to reduce, you got to reduce. And the other guy's like, no, I don't. And they're out there going, okay, we're going to try to outdo each other and undercut and undersell each other. And when they do that, it drives down oil prices. When you drive down oil prices, you have the scenarios we have right now. I just saw gas on one of the signs at like $1.98 a gallon. Wow. Okay. That has nothing to do with the American economy, but does it affect the American economy? Absolutely. Does that have anything to do with the housing market? It has nothing to do with the housing market. So when you look at the shifts that are being made in the government right now in reaction to the oil issue and the coronavirus issue, the government is starting to shift things like saying, hey, the Fed just cut interest rates down to 0%. And let's be really clear, 0% Fed interest rate is just the key borrowing number for the overall system to work within. And then everybody says, okay, I can borrow money at 0. Jim, I'm going to loan you money at 0% because I got it at 0. I'm just going to pass along the savings to you, right? That's how they work, right? Heck no, right? They say, I'm going to get it for 0, which means I'll pop you for 3 or 4 so I can make a spread on it. So the Fed interest rate is the rate that the big guys can borrow money at. And then they take that and they add their little piece to it and then sell it to somebody else. And then they add their piece to it and sell it to somebody else. And then they add their piece to it, the ones we're talking to, and they're selling it to us, which is why it ends up at 3 or 4% typically. Okay, so the Fed interest rate helps because it makes it easier for everybody to kind of layer their stuff down. It doesn't happen immediately. It will happen over time. And it also helps stabilize and keep things at a lower rate. So instead of interest rates going up also at this point, which would be a real problem, we have the ability to stabilize things. So stability in an unstable market is good. So if you can stabilize the things that you have the ability to stabilize, that makes a huge difference in the ability to stabilize everything else. So let's recap. Does this issue right now smell like, look like, feel like, have any indicators that resemble anything that look like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? And the answer is no. The people that got mortgages in the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years are people that got mortgages because they verified who they were, they verified their income, they verified their assets, they verified their job history, they called the job and made sure they had the job, they checked the bank accounts, they checked the income in the other sources, anything that was different in the bank account, they double checked, triple checked. Guys, listen, I'm high income earner 805 credit score, and I got treated like I was a freaking criminal when I got my last mortgage. I'm thinking, I could buy this house, literally write a check cash for this house. And I'm treated like a freaking criminal. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? I was literally this close to just saying, screw you guys. This is insane. I'm just going to buy this stupid house cash. And the only reason I didn't buy it cash is because I borrowed money on the house at under 4%. And I'm able to make way more than 4% on my money doing other things with it, including loaning money myself for mortgages for people flipping houses and that kind of stuff. So with that being said, people that have the capacity to buy are the ones that bought houses. So we don't have scenarios like we had in Florida and they have in California every 5 or 6 years, right? You know, it's like up and down yo-yo. In Florida, we had a scenario where we had whole neighborhoods that were bought on speculation. We're talking 2, 3, 4, 500 homes were bought with cash taken out of refinances in their house in New York and New Jersey and Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Illinois and Indiana. They bought houses down here, put their $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 down on the house, and the house was to be built over the next 2 or 3 years. So there's houses that were paid the deposit in 2005, 6, 7 when there was a lottery. They were doing lotteries to have the privilege to buy their house. They put the money down, and then the house wasn't going to be built for 2 or 3 years. So they got whole neighborhoods that get started, and then the neighborhoods get delayed a little bit, and these houses are starting to get completed in 2007, 8, 9 after things tanked. So if you actually closed on that house, you bought a house for $200,000 that you could literally go out and buy in that neighborhood for $125 cash. So they're like, do I walk away from this thing and lose $25,000, or do I buy the thing and lose $75,000? And people walked away from house after house after house after house after house, and literally just left everybody holding the bag. So with that being said, there was a ton of people that also had bought houses and were in houses or owned houses that they weren't living in, that were second homes. And when push comes to shove and an economy contracts, which house are you going to give up? The one that you live in, the one that you get up and go to the bathroom in and take a shower in, shave, poo, and go and do all the rest of the stuff, and put your hair straight up and iron your clothes? Or are you going to get rid of the one that's in Florida that you haven't been to for 6 months because you really can't afford to go there? Which one do you give up? You give up the second home. So there's a ton of second home buys that you could leverage money out of your house, buy a second home cash, or buy a second home with very little money actually mortgaged. And these people would just said, you know what, I'm walking away from this thing. They just literally just walked away from it. And that's why the foreclosure numbers went through the roof. So with that history lesson, simplified, oversimplified history lesson, that's what happened in 2005, 6, 7, 8. This is completely different in that the real estate business in most markets, not all markets, but most markets that are going to see this, we're strong. I know for a fact, Tampa market in under 300,000, you list a house. I know because I did it 2 weeks ago. List a house, $200,000. We had 4 cash offers on day 1. We had 2 or 3 offers come in day 2. We ended up selling to a first-time home buyer, worked out a deal with them because we wanted to give them the advantage to get in a house. I told Josh about this deal. He referred this guy to me from Naples, referred him to me. I handled it. We got it hooked up, under contract the next day. That was a week and a half ago, okay? So same thing exactly happened in Detroit. Listed a house for a friend of mine 2 weeks ago on Monday night. It was under contract within 5 days at full price, okay? So with those 2 markets in the lower end of the market, they're still flying. So do we have good structural numbers? Do we have good market numbers across the board in a lot of these markets below the 300,000 and 400,000 range? Absolutely. So do we have a house shift that's going to happen where the housing market's going to collapse? The housing market's not going to collapse. So here's a great part. Let me give you specifics on Tampa market. In many parts of the Tampa market, we are at a a little over 2 months supply of homes, 2.2, 2.3, 2.7 months supply of homes in a lot of areas that I play in the Tampa market. In the Detroit market, in Livonia, where I have my second house, my summer home, right? That market, last time I checked, which was January, was a 2.3 month supply of homes in that immediate area, 2.3, which means if the inventory doubles in the next 2 months or triples in the next 2 months, it gets up to a normal market. Normal market is 6 months supply of homes. We're at 2.3, so we end up at 6.3 or 6.6 or 6.9 for 6.9 months supply of homes. It goes up to a normal market. So when people say to me, oh my God, Russ, this is going to destroy the real estate market. Is this going to shift the real estate market from a property goes on the market and sells in the same day or 2 or 3 in a lot of these markets? Yeah, it's going to shift that. It's going to change that. That is actually going to slow down. We might actually slow down to a market where it's normal, which unfortunately for me, I don't think I'm this powerful, but I've been saying, God, I wish it would go back to a normal market where properties are on the market for 30, 60, 90 days. Because when you get a buyer and you have a buyer that really wants to buy a home, it's a bitch to get a buyer into a home right now in a lot of these markets. You can track and run through house after house after house after house. Jim just did this over the weekend. He went through 12 houses on Sunday, pick one and write up the offer on the hood of the car if you have to. That kind of stuff is still going on. So when you get into the 6 month supply of homes, you can actually look at a couple houses, think about it, sleep on it overnight, and make a good decision instead of making a rush decision. So guys, while it's going to hurt for a little while, and I'll get into more details on that, is this a good thing if the market inventory goes up and the buyers go down? For a little while, absolutely. So here's what happens. You guys ever seen a stream? You know, you got water flowing downhill. I'm not a very good artist, but like stick-figure artist, right? You got a stream flowing downhill, right? Stream flows downhill, and then you've got this dam that they put in place. And what happens when you put a dam in place and people stop buying? These are all your buyers coming down the pipe. This stops, and what happens? The water level goes up and up and up. And at some point, people that have to buy jump over that stupid thing, right? Well, what happens when this dam is removed? When that dam is removed, this water doesn't go, you know what? I'm not going to flow downhill anymore. It's going to sit here because I like sitting behind the dam. Even though you took the dam out of the way, I'm just going to sit here. This is what we call pent-up demand. Pent-up demand is super, super powerful. Let me give you a perfect example of what pent-up demand does over time. In 2005, 6, 7, 8, the market was skyrocketing downhill. And what happened is people are sitting on the sidelines going, well, heck with this. I'm not buying until this turns around. And that same thing is going to happen here. And that's what's going to be the dam. People are going to say, I'm going to sit on the sidelines for a little while. But those people aren't going to say, you know what, screw it, I'm never going to buy another house again. What they're saying is, I'm going to wait until this dam gets removed, and then I'm going to continue to cruise on down the hill. So while, like Josh tonight, he'd go to the bar, and he could go and go to the bar for work, of course, right? He'd go for the bar to work, and there are going to be people that say, you know what, I'm not going out drinking tomorrow. Now, they're not going to say, you know what, since I skipped drinking on St. Patty's Day last week, I'm going to drink double because I missed that St. Patty's. It doesn't work like that. It's not like I'm going to go out to dinner twice tonight to make up for that time I missed. So in the restaurant business and the bar business and a lot of service businesses, this is going to hurt them. Nice. This is going to hurt them short term. But what we find is that when they open this dam back up, what happens? Everybody's like, man, we haven't been out to eat in 3 months. Poof, and they'll overload these restaurants for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? There's going to be some Americans that are going to lose weight because they're not able to get their fast food. They're not able to go out to eat all the time. And they're going to be like, you know what? I'm an American. I need to be fat. And they're going to plump themselves right back up in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So while this is going to hurt for a little while, and for the people that don't have reserves, this is going to really suck for a little while. What'll happen is this dam gets removed, that block gets removed, and then that flow starts up again. Now, do we expect it to go right back to where it was yesterday? No, it'll take a little time because that market will have to filter through. And that 6-month supply of homes, mark my words, this is exactly what happened in 2010, 11, 12, 13. They removed this dam and people started going, hey, wait a minute, this is actually a good time to buy a house. Houses are all-time low. Things out there. There's supply out there. I've been looking for 2 years and I haven't been able to find a house I want. There's going to be people that have been looking for 2 years that just stopped looking and gave up. And they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, there's some supply out there. Let's go buy something. Okay, guys, I'm seeing that already happening with a couple of people who are like, hey, you know what? It's been a while. You know, maybe there's an opportunity for me to tag and bag something because, you know, it's been forever. If the market supply goes up in a lot of these markets, what you'll find is the buyer level is going to go back up. The next 2, 3, 4 months are going to be a little bit weird probably, but as soon as that passes and as soon as this thing starts to lighten up, things are going to go right back to where they were before. So with that being said, look at the last couple years. Look at 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This dam gets removed and all of this buildup for years. Remember, guys, average American moves every what? 7 years? And when they don't move, when the average American doesn't move, the average American sits still and it goes up to 10. You've got 3 years worth of people saying, hey, well, I didn't buy a house back then, but I'm gonna need to buy it now. So what happens is you get your normal, 100% real estate market of people that are normally gonna buy and sell. And then you're gonna get, 50% of year one is gonna come in and pop through. So you get 150% of buyers in 1 year, right? And then the next year you get another 150% and then the buyers that add in next year. And then you get another, so you got 6 years, 6 years, consistently 6 years of these people that were pent up buyers picking up homes left and right. Now, dude, this guy's talking really fast. Good news is I recorded this, so you guys can listen to it again in slow motion if you need to, okay? So you've got 6 years. So let's go back into history. It's 2020, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, right? 13. So you've got this scenario here where you've got 10 years average person moving. You got 3 years worth of people going, I'm not going to do anything. This is too weird. And those people start jumping off the fence. And a couple of them buy this year, and a couple of them buy next year, and the next year, and the next year, and the next year. And we're picking those off, which is why supplies of homes have been at record lows for the last 6 and 7 years. Does that make sense to you guys? Here's the greatest part about that. These are all, this isn't me making stuff up. This isn't me saying, hey, man, this is what I think happened in the market. This is me saying, hey, by the way, guys, in the rear view mirror, I just watched this happen. This is exactly what has happened in the last 6, 7 years. The people that were smart were like, hell, let's buy something now. And then the people are like, man, I don't want to get burned again. I'm going to wait till the market's at the top. And they're buying stuff now going, woo, the market's flying. The market's awesome. Let's buy. Because there's always a pile of people that say, the market's hot. Let's buy. And there's people like Warren Buffett's going, the market's screwed. Let's buy. Warren Buffett is buying up Delta stock, Delta Airlines stock, because Delta's a good, solid company. They got their butt knocked off in the last 2 weeks. They're going to continue to get their butt knocked off for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And he's saying, heck, I might as well buy it while it's in the crapper because I know it's a good company. And when the good company and this little coronavirus mess passes, that company is going to poof, and it's going to go right back up to where it was before. That's the way the real estate market works. That's the way stocks work. That's the way good companies work. Coronavirus won't decimate good companies. Good companies have good fundamentals. They have good processes. They have good systems. They have good fundamental basic core values. They have core culture that works. That stuff doesn't change. Does it shift a little bit? Yes. But is a good company automatically going to a crap company? Well, if they lose all their people and they all die, yes, that can happen. We're not expecting all of them to die. We're expecting everybody to be severely inconvenienced for the next probably realistically, guys, plan on 2, 3, 4 months. Okay? So if that's the case, let's make sure we get our mindset straight right now. Okay? So does that overview of what's going on in the market make sense to you guys?
Yes.
I know somebody's up on chat here. Let me see what this is here. Okay, good. Janelle's like, this is so awesome, Russ. I'm glad you're saying this because it confirms what she's been thinking. So here's the deal, guys. I'm just telling you a history lesson of what I've just watched over the last 15 years. Okay? I called this, I can show you a video from 2008, 2009, 10 is in my YouTube channel. 2009, where I said, here's what the market looks like and here's what's going to happen because of the fundamentals and the way markets move. This is what's going to happen. It's like 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then the market's going to start really ticking up. I literally drew out a circle with a big blob.
I think I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, I went back to that like 2 years ago, and I'm like, dude, that was like crystal ball Nostradamus crap there. It literally nailed it almost to the year, right? So good news is with really low supplies and really low interest rates, we still have a really good, solid, fundamental real estate market. Is that puppy going to stall out over the next 2, 3 months, 4 months? Heck yes, it is. And you got to assume that's going to happen. So with that being said, do we have some properties going under contract right now? Yeah. I mean, I told a customer earlier this week, I'm like, let's wait till Thursday, Friday and see what happens. Because right now, I mean, I'm looking at stuff, I'm looking at stuff going on and I'm looking at other people and I'm looking at market stats. I'm going, man, they're like properties are still going under contract one right after the next. I mean, heck, Jim was just showing buyers over the weekend. There are people that are popping their head out going, hey, things slowed down a little. Mark's got people jumping and rocking and rolling, right? There's people that have been sitting on the sidelines going, you know what? I'm not afraid of this crap. Let's go out. So if that's the case, then there's certain things that we can do to capitalize on that. So this conversation from here on out is like history lesson. There's what to expect. Here's what's reasonable. Here's what's normal. I would stake my career on it. This isn't me making crap. I've staked my career on it. I'm staying in the business. I'm going to make some shifts to my business to capitalize on this. Okay? So here's the fun part. People in this business, when things go bad, there's 2 options you have. One is you can turtle and you can say, okay, I'm just going to pull my head in. I'm going to sit at the house. I'm going to self-quarantine. I'm not going to talk to anybody. Okay? So self-quarantine, let's make sure we're clear. What does self-quarantine mean? Self-quarantine means don't go out and stand next to another meat sack that looks like me and breathe on it. Okay? That doesn't mean you can't communicate with other people. Guys, do you see what I'm doing right now? This is what I consider leadership. I'm showing you guys how to communicate effectively with your people, even though I can't spit on any of you right now. I can't infect a single one of you guys with anything other than great ideas and nonsense from my head. That's it. Nobody's going to catch anything from me right now doing this, except maybe a little excitement, a little enthusiasm, and a little ability to back up your stuff with facts that we just talked about, and then say, what do I do? What can I do? What can I control? What can't I control? So here's how you reduce stress, and this is how you can help reduce stress with everybody around you. Gosh, I'm on fire today. I feel like I'm going to blow up. My temperature's going through the roof. Like I need to get an air conditioner on me.
It's not Corona.
My freaking heat. Yeah, maybe I'm busting out in Corona. Look at my head's getting sweaty. I'm getting short of breath. Guys, here's the deal. There are things that we can control and things that we can't control. When you focus on the things that you can't control, it creates this thing called stress. So if somebody's like, I'm totally stressed out about this, that's because you're focused on the wrong crap. I have this conversation with I love my wife to death. We've been married for 26 years this year. My wife really has a struggle with like non-controllable stuff. That's what you're focused on the wrong crap. You're not focused on what you can do. You're focused on what you can't control. And when you focus on what you can't control, imagine her trying to control this, right? Every time she tries to control this, she gets really frustrated because it's uncontrollable force of nonsense. It's just the way I roll, right? So when you try to control things that are not controllable, that's when you have stress. When you're trying to control things that are not controllable, that's when you have fear. When you're focused on something that might happen and worried about that, that's what creates fear. If you're focused on what's going to happen in the future, that's what creates fear. If you're walking around depressed because you're focusing on the past. So when you're walking around and see people are depressed, it's because they're focused on the past and they're focused on things that didn't happen, should have happened, would have happened, used to be like, could have been like, would have been like, should have been like. That's what creates depression. When people create fear and high levels of stress because they're so worried about what's coming up in the future. Okay? So if you're sitting here today and say, okay, today, let's be clear. Do I have enough food to survive? Yes. So am I good? Yes. Am I good tomorrow? Who cares? Right now, today, am I good? Am I provided for? Did I provide for myself? Did my family get provided for? Did God provide? Whatever you want to call it, call it. Am I good right now? Yes. Is that subject to change? Yes. Nothing you can think or do is going to stop the fact that something could change. I.e., a month and a half ago, I thought we're going to be rock and rolling into a spring market and boom, and things are going to blow up. And boy, did that change, right? So just because, like, you got to say, hey, where am I at today? How is my today? Where am I going today? What am I doing today? And if I focus on that, I'm good. What can I control? What can't I control? So let's make a quick list of the things we can't control. What can't we control? Anybody? Can't control Corona. Can't control the market. Can you control buyers?
Some of them.
No.
Joke.
No, you can't. Can you control sellers?
No.
Can you control any others?
No.
No.
Can you control
Control
Trump?
yourself.
Can you control Trump? Can you control the Democrats? No, right? Can you control the stuff that you see on Facebook? Yes. Can you control what you see in the media? Yes. Can you control the people you surround yourself with? Yes. Can you control your reactions? Yes.
Working on it.
Control your actions? Yes. Wait, do you see the difference in the list? This is controlling other stuff that's outside of you. This is controlling stuff that's inside of you. You pick and choose how often you stay on Facebook and get alarmed, right? Because of what I do and how I do stuff, I have to be on Facebook to a certain degree to stay in contact and stay in control and have some type of sense of leadership out there. So I have that 6-figure sphere group. And by the way, I'm going to do the same type of conversation in there live. But I want to make sure you guys got special treatment first since you're my crew, right? You guys get into this conversation first. Can I control Facebook? No, but I've got a couple people I put on ignore for a little while. Do you know why? Chicken Little crap, right? Sky is falling. Sky is falling. Trump, 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 Trump. Sky is falling. Trump, Trump. Like, listen, if you're going to blame your whole life on the sky is falling and everything else that happens to you and Trump, listen, if you're blaming anything of your life on the president of the United States, your life sucks, right? Take control of your own stupid life. That guy's never showed up at my house and ruined my life. Obama didn't ruin my life. Bush 1 didn't ruin my life. Bush 2 didn't ruin my life. Gore didn't ruin my life. No, none of these clowns ruin my life, right? These are people that do their thing, and I am successful in spite of them. Not because of them, in spite of them, right? I am in control of my destiny. I choose where I go. I choose where I am. I choose who I am. I choose what I think. I choose what I see. I choose what I expose myself to. And if I find I'm getting in a crappy place in life, I start looking at what am I doing first. I don't go, gee, I wonder, Josh called me the other day and it's like, whatever, Josh can spit all the crap he wants. I don't care. Whatever it is, that's his world. That's his life. He screwed his crap up. That's on him, right? This is me, right? I control how much Facebook I see. I control how much TV I watch. I control the people that I listen to. By the way, that Anthony Fauci guy, the medical dude that's standing on stage, that guy's pretty damn sharp. That guy's going to be famous for the rest of his life because of this. So you've got a coronavirus issue that goes on. This dude steps up his game. He becomes a leader and an authority that people like and trust and will listen to. I like him. I trust him. I'm going to listen to that guy. He makes sense. Regardless of the nonsense going on around him, that dude seems to have it. He's serious. He's straightforward. He knows his stuff. He's honest. He's not pulling punches. He's telling the truth. And it seems like he's got a pretty damn good handle on it. And he says, hey, by the way, guys, we have no idea where this is going to really go. Anybody that's saying, we know where this is going to go is full of crap. Because I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty good at predicting the future, apparently. Go back in YouTube to 2010. I predicted the real estate market coming. But I was just looking at the information saying, here's what's most likely to happen. And it did. Now I can say, look at me, I'm great. I'm never predicting that again because I'll never be right again, probably. I think I'm right about this one, but I control the people I'm around. I control my reaction to them. It's like, listen, at some point, I got this dude named, what's his face? I'm not going to name it. It's because he's going to watch this and go, dude, you blocked me. Like, I'm not blocking him. I'm putting him on pause mode for a little while. Because, like, I love the dude, but, man, it's just like everything is like, everybody's out to get me. The world's going to kill me. We're going to die. I'm going to die with a dirty butt. Right? It's like, come on, guys, really? Wait, like, we're more resilient than that, right? As human beings, as something that was created that is awesome, human beings, we are awesome people. We are remarkably adaptable. We are confident. We are proud people, a little bit narcissistic as a culture because we're Americans. And really, when push comes to shove and you get out face to face with your neighbors and belly to belly, as long as you stay 6 feet apart, you're going to find these people are thinking and feeling the same thing. And those people will give you a roll of toilet paper or lend you some leaves from their yard if you need them, right? That's the way most Americans really work when push comes to shove. I put Democrats and Republicans and other in a room together and have them have a conversation. They're not killing each other. They find that if they talk through it and don't just soundbite crap at each other, they actually agree on way more than they disagree on. You can say whatever you want about our current administration. You can say whatever you want about the last one and the one before that and the one before that and the one before that. Do you know not everybody thought George Washington was the best dude in the world? Go figure. Time smooths all that stuff out, right? So when push comes to shove, guys, we're all going to live a really, really long time. God grant us that, and the corona doesn't take us all out and wipe out the world, right? Barring that, we got a long time to live. We got a lot of great decisions to make, a lot of great people to surround ourselves with. So is now a good time to start finding who your tribe is? Yeah. Is now a good time to start inspiring some people? Heck yeah. Is now a good time to start controlling your reactions? Absolutely. So here's the great part. If you can control your reactions when poop's going sideways, it's way easier to control your reactions when minor stuff's happening. I mean, think about what's really important right now. What's really, really important to you? What can you control? Are you with the people you love? Are you doing the best you can? Are you giving it 100%? Are you trying to make sure you help others when you get the opportunity? Always trying to do the right thing. If you're doing that, you're good. The rest of this stuff, clothes, pants, shoes, heck, I'm not even wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts right now, camouflage shorts. I'm not going to show them to you. You couldn't see them anyway because they're camouflage. Ah! So the deal is, guys, like you look at all this other stuff is irrelevant. So let's go back to what's important to us. What can we control? Be a good person. Do good stuff, right? And are there some things that we can do while we're doing this that can actually help our business accelerate and take it to the next level? Let's talk about that next. What can we do? What can we do right now in this situation to take our business to the next level? Let's talk about that controllable, right? What are some of the things we can do? Right now, I'm going to tell you what, guys, you're going to hate me saying this. Guess what time it is? It's time to learn to do videos. Sorry, y'all, but people resist and resist and resist and resist and resist. And I've been banging on this with every one of my clients and every one of my people that are around me and all the people that are on my team. I say this over and over and over and over and over. Get good at video. I'll tell you what. If you can't get good at video in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, there's something wrong with you, right? You don't look at me like, well, this market's tough and the real estate, and this is hard and this is blah. None of that. No more BS, right, guys? You got to say, hey, this is on me. This is controllable. Is it time to practice? Do you have a cell phone? You can practice doing videos, right? Get good at it. Get great at it. Learn how to upload stuff onto YouTube, right? Shoot videos. Open up your own YouTube channel. Get that baby going, right? There's 100 videos on how to start your own YouTube channel. Is that something you can do right now in between since you can't be doing some of your other stuff? Absolutely. Designate an hour or two to set aside to do that. One of the things going to be super, super important during this process is time management, right? So some of you might say, hey, Russ, well, you don't understand, man. I've got kids, and I've got this, and I've got that, and I've got the other thing. Well, newsflash, you got all that same crap when you're doing your business normally, when you're not sequestered, right? Every single one of you guys has the ability to block out something that resembles time for you to move yourself forward. So here's the deal, guys. The real estate market's going to stall for a short period of time. This market's going to stop here. We're cruising along. It's going to take a pause right here and hit the stop button. And guess what? Me as a person, here's where I am right now. We're coming up to this almost full stop real estate business. Mentally, I'm going to be over here. I'm going to set myself up so that when this wall goes away, every other real estate agent is standing here, and I'm standing over here. And how do you do that? You might say, I'm going to tell you how to do that. The only way to make your business better is to make you better. The only way to make my business better is to make me better. If I can control me and control what I'm doing, then I can make sure that I'm over here when this thing fires back up. When I'm over here playing at this level up here, everybody else is down here because they took a hit. What happens in this business? Am I the one that's been putting out videos and making connections and telling people the truth and making sure they understand what's going on in the market, understanding the shifts? And is there a bunch of other things that I can educate them on so that I become more of their expert over the next 2 or 3 months? Heck yeah! We have a captive audience for the next 2, 3, 4 months, guys. What do you think they're going to watch? Are they going to look at little taglines and crap? Not so much, right? They do watch short videos, though. So can you produce nugget after nugget after nugget after nugget? I've got a small list that I've made for you guys of videos that you guys can put out. Are you ready for this? Here's my list. You might be like, how does he remember all this crap? I don't. I write it down and I just turn around and read it, okay? So let's look at a couple of videos that you guys can do, okay? Remember, I'm recording this. I'll send this all out to you. Reach out to me and say, hey, send me a copy of that and I'll shoot it out to you, okay? Your area, your local area. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if you didn't see a picture of Times Square this morning yet, look up on Facebook. Somebody's posted a picture of Times Square. You have never seen Times Square where you can see the road. You've never seen Times Square where you can see the sidewalks. People might be grossed out at what the sidewalks look like because they've never seen them before, okay? So with that being said, if you were going to shoot a picture of Times Square, when would be a great time to shoot it? Right now. Vatican City, you should see some of the stuff here and go, my gosh, these buildings are amazing when they're not completely polluted with people, right? So are there places in your area that you could shoot pictures of and video of without getting within 6 feet of any humans? Heck yeah. And most of those places are empty. I had somebody post on Facebook the other day. It's like, I'm at the park with my kid, with my sanitizer and blah, blah, blah. We're the only ones here. There's nobody else at the park. Is that a great time to shoot pictures of local parks? Great time to shoot pictures of local neighborhoods? Great time to shoot pictures of local shopping areas? It's a great time to build out and make your business more robust and have some stock videos available and things that you can use for posting in listings and so forth and so on. Okay, your immediate neighborhood. I went out for a cup of coffee this morning just to support my local Dunkin' Donuts. And of course, I hand sanitizer, washed my hands, scrubbed my face, and threw my clothes in the garbage and lit the garbage on fire. But other than that, I did that this morning, and I was like, there's nobody on the road. I could drive my car 150 miles an hour down the street right now. There's nobody out. People are hiding, which is great. Good time to go out. There's nothing that says you can't go out for a nice drive. There's nothing that says you can't take your family to a park, bring your camera, record some pictures, right? Check out your local city stuff. Some of these city spaces that you go to have never been you've never been in a position where you can shoot it without some goofy dude standing in front of you that you can't get a good picture, right? Great time to get some good stock photography and get some videos of areas, okay? Community features, some of the cool stuff. Go by and shoot the picture of you could go drive right up to Disney World right now. Nobody's standing in front of it. You're like, here's a picture of Disney sign with no cars, okay? Those are the types of things you can do. There are some stores and some local places and local color that are unique. Grab some video on those. Say, hey guys, here's a quick video of Yellow Dog. There's a little restaurant in Orlando called Yellow Dog. Crazy, crazy, crazy food, and everything's titled really, really unique stuff. Dale Wood and Claudia Wood took me to that years ago. Love that place. That'd be a great time to stand in front of there and say, hey, Yellow Dog, blah, blah, blah. That's local color. If you're moving into this area, this is something you definitely got to check out. And you can save that video to shoot out to your people after they buy a house in that area. So are there things that you can do right now to really enhance the depth of your business and build a library of video stuff that you can start using with future customers that you're going to have because it's going to unleash? Absolutely, right? The last thing that you guys should be doing right now is talking about the real estate market and shoot a quick video on the real estate market. Are people wondering what's going on in the real estate market? Heck yeah, they are. I've got my financial advisor who works with a bunch of people around Tampa Bay area. And I said to my wife yesterday after they did their thing, I need to reach out to Robert and tell him what's going on in the real estate market because he doesn't know. He doesn't have this inside info. So when we sit down, he's like, hey, how's the market? He asks me, hey, how's the market? Because he knows I'm going to have the numbers and know the stats and know where things are. So do you think this is a good opportunity for you to reach out to a couple of financial advisors and say, hey guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but let me give you a little history. Here's where we were in January. Here's where we are now. And I'm going to do an update next month. Do you want me to put you on my market update for next month? Do you think you could build a bunch of business in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, just reaching out to financial advisors saying, I know you guys are getting your butt kicked right now, but if you'd like, I've got a quick market update that tells you what's going on in the real estate market with factual information from the MLS that you don't have access to. Do you think some of those guys would jump on that? Do you think some of their people would be saying, hey man, I wonder what's going to happen with my real estate since I have $1 million homes, what's going to happen with my real estate? Do you think they need to know that? A financial advisor should know that, but they don't have a resource a lot of times for that information. So where are business opportunities? Financial advisors? This is a fantastic place right now to grow your business. This is going to be on my list for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to start plowing through and chasing the ones that are all around my immediate area and making sure they know what's going on in the real estate business. If you can build 10, let's say you get 10 financial advisors that you build into your business just by doing this over the next 2 weeks, and you say, hey man, I've got a real estate market update, check this out, this is factual information, you want me to send this to you? And I'll update it every 2 weeks as this goes on so you know what's going on, so you have facts for your customers. Do you think you could become their best friend in the next 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks? Yeah. Do you think you're going to be their referral partner for the rest of their life? Heck yeah. You guys ought to be glad I'm not here, man. I just spit all over the place saying that. This is your #1 opportunity to gain market share right now in this industry, and there's no way in the world you could have had that opportunity if it wasn't for our Corona beer virus. Sorry, Corona. Throw a lime in. This is the lime that goes with the Corona right now. Makes everything better. This is your opportunity to accelerate your business, and when things start moving, go. You think some people are going to freak out right now and say, hey, I'm thinking about selling right now because I'm stuck? There are going to be some people who are going to do that. Will financial advisors know those people? Probably. Let me send you to my guy. He's the one keeping me up to date. Let me send you over to my guy. Hey, if they have more questions, have them call me. And if you guys get stuck, say, let's get Russ on the phone. You guys have the ability to do that, right? So if you get somebody on the phone and they're a bigger fish than you like, you're like, I don't know what to do with this one. It's like, hand me the fishing pole. I'll reel that puppy in for you. And we'll start building credibility with them. We'll talk them through this stuff. So we give them perspective and then give them factual information. Financial advisors will love that. Little perspective, factual information. Great way to reach out with a video. Say, hey, by the way, I reached out to you. You didn't pick up the phone. I'm sending you the short video. Here's what's going on in the real estate market right now. Factual information. Here's where it was 2 months ago. Here's where it is now. Now you can see a little bit of context. And by the way, here's what it was last year. And then I'm going to do this again next week or the week after, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, so you know what's going on. Now you just bought a friend. Opportunity you would never have without the coronavirus coming. Okay? Increase your knowledge base. You guys have 2, 3, 4 months potentially to have a little bit more extra time on your hands. Is this a good time to get a designation if you think something's fun? CRS is actually a decent designation to get. GRI is actually reasonably decent also. I'm not a huge fan of designations. I don't have any myself because I tend to educate myself in manners that make sense to me and support what I'm doing and driving my business at. But educate yourself right now. Read some books on business. Read some books on finance. Get yourself educated. Do some stuff. There's so much stuff you can do online. You never have to get spit on by any humans doing that. It's pretty cool, right? If you don't have a list of checklists in this market, checklists working with buyers, checklists working with sellers, checklists working with transaction coordinator, checklist of every document you need to work with a buyer, every document with seller, the process going through. Do you have a standard format to hand to your buyers? Like, here's where we're at. And by the way, here's all the key dates. If you don't have something like that, it's a great time to develop that. Okay? Develop checklists, develop timeline, develop things that help make like one-page simple stuff to help a buyer through the process. Here's all your key dates. Boom, boom, boom. Plug it in, email it to them. Seller, here's all the key dates. Boom, boom, boom. Plug it in, email it to them. Having things like that at your fingertips are huge. Building that when your business is moving is impossible. Doing that now when you got a little downtime is probable. You got tons of time to do that, right? Last thing, sphere of influence info. I hear this all the time. Jim was just saying this to me. Man, I'm working on getting the addresses and stuff. Just reach out to people and say, hey, man, if you have any questions, great. By the way, why don't you give me your address? I can mail something to you. I'll mail some SARS virus to you. I'm kidding. I'm going to mail some anthrax to you because that's way better than corona. No, I'm kidding. So you can mail something to them. You can mail a market update, whatever, right? Is there opportunities for you to get information? People are sitting around there a little bit more leisurely. They've got the kids and so forth. Can you start gathering that info in your spare time? Yes. Block out 1 hour every week for the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks until you have it all and plow through that list and get everything locked down. There's no reason in the world by the time Corona's done, you shouldn't be done with your sphere of influence list. If you don't have that list done, name, address, phone number, email address of everybody on your system, remember step 1 in my training system, if you don't have all of that by the time Corona's done, you got to look in the mirror and say, I suck. Right? I suck at this. Maybe I should go back to bartending. Because if I can't get this done, it's step 1. These are my people. If I can't get this done, what the heck am I doing? Priorities, priorities, priorities. Get it done, right? Next one on the list, clean up paperwork. Some people are like, I've got this with a logo on it. I've got this without a logo on it. And they send this hodgepodge of garbage. I got this one document from 1945. I still use it because it's accurate. Update your stuff. Make it look great. Update your listing presentation. Update the supplemental things that you do with your listing presentation. Update some of the charts and graphs that you use. I use a couple of charts and graphs in my listing presentation. Sit down and go, here's what's going on with the market. Here's what's happened. Here's where buyers come from. Those charts, I need to update them every once in a while. Google it. See what's out there. Go onto your local company marketing center and see what else they've got. Cruise through there and see all the great stuff they've got in there. Spend 2 hours just looking at the marketing center in your local company. If that doesn't give you some great stuff, you're in the wrong company. Okay? Call me about that. I'll help you out. CE, online designation. These are just like normal things you guys can do to take advantage of this. There's a lot of things that you've been putting off, not getting done as a normal real estate person, just like I do. Like my garage needs to be cleaned in the worst way because I've built a bunch of crap in the last 6 weeks. And there's literally dust on top of dust on top of dust. I wiped across one of my things and it was like 7 different layers of different colors of dust because of the different things that I've been building. My last run was all red stuff with a wood called Padauk, and it's kind of this red, really dark red color, and it literally gets on everything. And my wife's like, we have dust on the top of the door inside the garage door, and like wipe across and your fingers come up red because it just finds its way through everything. It's like, I mean, it's literally
Like glitter.
It's glitter. Yes. It's absolutely like glitter. If you've ever been near a clown, you're gonna end up coming home with glitter on you, and your wife's gonna yell at you for going to a strip club. Like, no, I was hanging out with a clown. I was at a real estate thing. Kidding. So yeah, glitter. It's everywhere, right? So this is a time right now. Clean your garage. Get all that nonsense out of the way. Get all those projects that have been hanging over your shoulders. Get the house stuff. Get all that crap done. You got the time now. Make it happen. So that when real estate time starts going, you're ready to roll hot roll everything. Because when this thing opens up and that dam pops open, you got to be in a position where you've got A, B, C, D ready to rock and roll. You've made a bunch of connections. You've built rapport. You've built connections. You've built rapport. You've built more connections. You've built rapport. And then you're going to accelerate out of this. The real estate agents that didn't do this stuff in 2007, 8, 9 went out of business. This is a 3 or 4 month test run for the next downturn in the market, guys. Do you think we'll have a real downturn in the market where the economy actually makes a downturn in the market at some point?
Sure.
Yep. Is this it? I don't think it is. Are we going to have an economic hit? Yes. Is it going to probably go back to where it was 2 months ago pretty quick. I think it probably will, because we'll have a bunch of pent up demand and the floodgates will open and people start going crazy and they'll all go to the movies because they haven't been to the movies in 3 months. That kind of stuff will happen. And people have been waiting to buy a house. They're like, hey, let's hit it now. There's a bunch of stuff available. Let's rock and roll. Last time we had a surge in supply in Tampa, I said, if we get a surge of supply in Tampa, the supply went up, and then what happened? The sales went right up to it, and the market supply stayed the same because the inventory went up, and then the demand went up to meet it because they're like, there's houses available, let's buy them. And we're going to have that same thing going on. We're still working through the tail end of that in most markets, okay? So there's my input on what I think's going on. A couple of highlights. Number one, this is not an economic crash caused by bad economics. This is not a real estate crash based on bad real estate economy, bad real estate market numbers. This is not a bad market. This is a hiccup in a great market and should go back to a really normal market within the span of, I would say realistically, 3, 4, 5 months. And then you'll probably see these numbers drop right back down, supply number, again, back to where they were, really close to where they were, if not even lower, okay? And then thirdly, we're gonna have to make sure we focus on the things we can control and not focus on the things we can't control. Listen, guys, if nothing else you learn over the next 3 months, 4 months, is to learn to control the things you can and don't worry about the stuff you can't, and you're gonna be a better human for the rest of your life. This could be the opportunity to say, you know, we had that little hitch and glitch in our world. We had to shut everything down, figure out what was important to us, surround ourselves with good stuff, control our brain. I did that. I can do anything, right? You guys can all survive this. If you get stuck, you have people around you that are willing to help. You get stuck on something specific, you got people around you that are willing to help. If you don't feel that's true, I don't know what the heck you're doing on here because you're talking to one of them. All right, so I'm talking at you, right? You guys all know my number. You pick up the phone, you call me. I don't always have great days. I have my ups and downs too. I've fought depression in my life. I know what that's like. I've had good businesses and I restarted from ground zero. I've made a crap ton of money and I've gone back to zero a couple of times. My choices to change my life, and I figured out what was important to me. I said, I'm willing to go back to zero to rebuild my life. And I'm in one of those rebuilding phases right now. And guess what, guys? This is really shitty timing for me to have an economic hit. Because quite frankly, I got my butt knocked off for the last 18 months since I started from zero. I'm doing better, but man, I really need the next 6, 8, 12 months to do well. And you know what? I'm going to freaking figure it out. We're going to survive this and we're going to come out the other side stronger. I'm going to come out more focused. I guarantee I'm going to come out with more financial advisors that think I'm the baddest thing that they've ever seen. Sliced bread ain't nothing compared to what they're going to think of me when I'm done with this. Nobody else is telling that info. Number one tip, right? You guys ready to rock and roll on this? Come out the other side stronger. Doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Nah, if it doesn't kill you, it hurts like hell. And eventually that goes away. And usually you know to avoid that. So you're not really maybe necessarily stronger, but you know to avoid that crap again. Get bit by a water moccasin once. That'll probably never happen again. Right? Doesn't kill you. Doesn't make you stronger. It makes you avoid water moccasins. So with that being said, this just is what it is, guys. We'll do it together, right? We'll touch base every couple weeks like this. You guys want to be on the Tuesday call? I'm going to be on here every Tuesday. We're probably going to be cranking a ton on mindset. We're going to get into a lot more details on how to handle this stuff and how to talk through this stuff. We'll go through specific strategies. I was with Jim last week and I said, hey, Jim, you should say this to him. He went out and said that to him. And the buyer's like, let's get qualified. They got qualified the next day. Of course, we don't want to know the rest of the story. The rest of the story is not done yet. But they literally said, oh, my God, that's the greatest info ever.
Right, it worked wonderful, man.
But, hey, it worked, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of knowledge and a lot of base around you guys to help support you as we go through this, okay? So, guys, I'm in this with you. We'll do this together. Reach out to me if you need something.